Hi. So today we will be talking about why the space sector should be our nation's 17th critical infrastructure sector. So, according to the Department of Homeland Security, there are 16 critical infrastructures that are so vital that their destruction will cause significant damage to our way of life, to our national economy, public health and safety, energy, transportation, energy, etc. And these sectors, some of them are communications, energy services, transportation, healthcare, water systems, defense, energy, food and agriculture, etc. So, by designating each of these as a critical sector, the United States government has given each sector vital divisions resources as well as protection, which sends a very vehement message to our adversaries that attacking each of these infrastructures is going up against the US government. The Department of Homeland Security also has a national directorate called the National Protection and Programs Directorate, which essentially heads the Office of Infrastructure Protection. However, I believe that there's one important sector that is missing from this list, and it is arguably one of the most important ones. From agriculture uses to communications to almost every sector listed in the USCI, space systems is perhaps the most significant aspect of it all because it has become such an integral part of our daily lives. And the fact that almost every CI, every critical infrastructure depends on it. The United States operates about 900 satellites in orbit out of some 2,000, at least 2,000 satellites up in space right now. So our space sector's commercial as well as our military assets should just be as paramount. And most of these commercial satellites were not meant to withstand rigorous cyber attacks from adversaries. And hacking a satellite is really not that difficult. In 2007, there was a launch done by China in which they shot down a weather satellite, which caused international alarm. And according to a senior Taiwanese politician, it was an aggressive attack with the first known satellite intercept test for over 20 years. Previously, the United States and the Soviet Union had done these types of tests before, but later on they had signed an agreement that they would not perform these types of attacks. So China's development and testing of such weapons is a reason for grave concern. Additionally, our commercial space industry is continuing to grow and is projected to grow beyond $634 billion by 2026. So, according to the Office of Director of National Intelligence, the first line of defense are private sector companies, and they should have the tools they need in order to protect their assets. There are no fundamental cybersecurity laws that says that every space asset that we launch should have this level of protection. However, there are certain protocols which addresses this basic cybersecurity risk management, but it's nowhere comprehensive in terms of addressing all of the cybersecurity risks that it poses to space vehicles. And some of the ways that these adversaries can get access to space assets is through IP satellite communications attacks, GPS satellite attacks, and government satellite and ground space system attacks. Like an example, not previously, but about 14 years ago, on October 7th, 2007 and 23rd July 2008, a NASA and US Geological Survey satellite was believed to be hacked by China. It was interfered for at least 12 minutes, according to a review done by China Economic Security Review Commission, but no commands were actually sent. And after these attacks, the Pentagon refused to comment on the alleged hacking, but it said it would monitor China's counter space abilities and it increased the resiliency of space assets. What would have happened if the United States had classified the space systems as a critical infrastructure? It would have massively impacted how we perceive space threats today because by designating space sector as a critical infrastructure, the protection of U.S. assets will fall under Department of Homeland Security, they would receive prioritized cybersecurity protection from the DHS. All of our sectors that rely on our space architecture will have another level of security added to it. Additionally, a series of policy and legal documents signed under President Trump suggests that if any harm were to come to a U.S. critical infrastructure, they will potentially be met with U.S. military response. So in the case of China hacking our satellites, they would have most likely had some military response due to the severity of their attacks. I think overall, designating critical infrastructure would give you a level of protection not seen before. And it is important that we do so given the current political climate and given the technological advancements of our adversaries. Thank you.